Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, perfect, perfect. Welcome everybody, welcome. So right now we have about 20 people. It's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna flow in throughout. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. I'm here as a resource. I do have a nice presentation for y'all, and I want to go through that. Feel free to ask a question via the chat while I'm going through that, and then the moment I'm done, y'all can unmute yourselves, and we can have a whatever conversation that y'all want to have. Y'all got that? If everybody can hear me, y'all say something in the chat. Put a thumbs up in the chat. What's up, Don? All right, cool, 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 cool. Okay, so all right, there we go. What's up, Eric? Double O, how are you, bro? How are y'all, man? Okay, AJ, Chuck, Hammond, Clark Kent, what's up? Angel, how are you? Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so first off, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there. Without y'all, none of this would be possible. My mom is in attendance as well as my godmom, Angel. She's in here as well, and so a lot of my success has to do with them. It was in fact Angel who was the one who told me to go ahead and start this group because we've been investing for some years, and we'd share things back and forth. So she actually gave me the courage to go ahead and get started. So y'all thank Angel because again, without her, I probably wouldn't be doing this. All right. So the whole purpose of heavy returns is basically two things. Right now, I'm going through a fitness journey and I'm going through a finance journey. I've been locked in on both. Everything outside of that, other than my family, I really been kind of putting it to the side. This is the quote that I look at every single day. Something that pushes me to go forward is don't prove, improve. And what that means to me is that, I'm not out to validate myself for anybody. I'm not looking for anybody's approval, but I'm looking internally. I want to improve myself. I don't care if I get just 1% better every day. And I wanted to share that with y'all because I'm here as a resource to kind of get y'all to the next step. I want to help people because if we help each other, we actually all could benefit. As y'all know, so a lot of people know me as Trey. Some people know me as Attorney Meredith. In the finance world, y'all can just call me Flo. I'll explain why later on in the presentation, but we'll get to that part. But basically, I am the founder of Heavy Returns. I'm just here to keep you locked in. I'm focused on the markets, I'm focused on the gym, and then my overall mindset. Today, what we're going to cover is why this group exists. Okay, the reasons why I went ahead to go ahead and get it started. LB, what's up, AJ? How are you, brother? The three pillars, the ways that I actually trade because I day trade, I swing trade, and also invest for the long term. And then I have a three-factor framework on how I do that. We do technicals, fundamentals, and then market sentiment, and I'll explain all of this. Again, this will be recorded. I will share it in the Discord. I will email you the PowerPoint. Whatever it is that y'all want me to do, I'm here to help. Okay. All right. As far as so then chapter four or phase four would be my tools, the books that I use, and then the routine that I've been doing, which has actually made me more and more successful. And then finally, the roadmap, the things that I'm looking forward to for this group. Let me go ahead and admit this other person. The things that I'm looking for this group, I'll dive into that. And then after that, the last part of this will be phase six. So just let me flow through the PowerPoint. If you have any questions, again, type them in the chat. And then verbally, y'all can follow up during phase six and we can have that conversation. All right. So let's get started. All right. So if y'all ever follow any options traders online or any investors, what you'll notice all the time, they'll just flex like Lambos and Rolexes. I'm not here to focus on any of that. At the end of the day, I am personally able to afford those types of things, but it's not about that. Again, it's about what's internal. And if y'all keep conditioning your mind to focus on the internal, you'll be able to accomplish anything, especially in the finance world. It's not about buying the fancy cars. It's not about buying the jewelry or anything like that. It's about the financial freedom and the being able to provide for your family. And if you do that, if you focus on that instead of material things, you'll actually have the power to go and continue forward every single day. Because once you buy that stuff, you feel empty. But what makes me happy is the fact that my family's being taken care of. All right. So again, fitness and finance, plates and portfolios. That's simple. Reps and returns, muscle and markets. That's the two things that I'm focused on for the next whoever knows for how long. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all a little lesson, okay? So a lot of people, especially my older viewers, they like to save money. They really never had the courage to invest, and that's because they were all taught a lie. Even my great grandmother was. So she was a hairdresser, and she poured all of her money into a savings account, thinking that that was the smart thing to do. God bless her heart and rest her soul. But she thought that that was the smart thing to do in order to benefit us. But I just wish that somebody would have told her the honest to God truth because they didn't. So you hear a lot of times people say, well, my money's safe in the bank. No, it's not. Growing up, I'm sure that my great grandmother probably paid around 5 to 10 cents for a gallon of gas. Now, everybody in here, y'all already know how much gas is today. It's at least $5. Okay? A gallon. Let me go ahead and admit this other person. All right. Okay, and then even last year, it was about half that, and the price has doubled in 12 months. Why? Because of inflation. Inflation essentially is $7 out there. Okay, double it. Wow, man, I'm praying for you. Come on back to Texas, man. But yeah, so with gas being so high and everybody in their same situation, what happens is the fact that your purchasing power has now went down due to things called inflation. There's going to be things that affect prices of every single thing, and we have to figure out a way to advance and how to combat that. The best way to do that is in the stock market. Okay. All right. All right. So next, I'm not your guru. I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything in the market. I'm not, I'm not Warren Buffett. I'm not anything like that. But I am knowledgeable enough to get you to the next level. I'm here again as a resource to help you. And I'm going to document my own journey in the hopes that it helps you as well. So I'm not your guru. I'm your trainer. All right. So my vision for heavy returns is basically I want to take a group of just like-minded individuals and we collaborate and we build, today's equivalent of the Black Wall Street, a digital version. And so that's the whole purpose of the Discord is for people to have conversations and to, trade ideas, collaborate, whatever it is that y'all want to do. Because at the end of the day, if we have a community, we could benefit each other. In our group, we have doctors, lawyers, people that do construction, nurses, you name it, engineers, you name it, we have it. And there's a lot of other things that we'll be able to build off of each other as long as we're all on the same page. So I was like, why not start a group where we all can help each other? All right. So here's a very, very, very important slide, and I'm gonna break it down to y'all. So there's at least 10,000 stocks in the stock market, right? It's an infinite number, and they're all coming out every single day. There's new stocks that come out. It's called IPOs. It's called what that is initial public offering. Okay, y'all can look that up, write that down. Initial public offering. What that is the birth of a new company that's put on the stock market to where we can buy it in public. Okay, there are certain companies that we don't have access to on the stock market. For instance, I own a law firm. Y'all don't have the right to buy my law firm on the stock market, but y'all can buy McDonald's, Starbucks, Shell, Nvidia, Amazon. Y'all can buy all of these things on the stock market. Okay, but because of the number of these companies, I don't have the ability to look at all of them at one time, even with AI, because a lot of y'all know that I use AI in my research. I don't have the ability to look at all of them. However, with the rule of large numbers, if we have a large enough group, we could break things up into sectors and maybe, say for instance, Don is in the healthcare sector. There's going to be things he knows before we would know, and he may be able to enlighten us on certain things. AJ is in the construction market. Maybe may be some kind of materials things that he could tell us about. Maybe the price of wood has gone up and he knows that before we do. So at the end of the day, if we collaborate as a group, there's going to be opportunities where we all can eat. And that is the whole purpose of this group. All right. So, a lot of y'all have been with me at the start of my investing journey. I believe I call them the OGs, but Don, AJ, B Mac, Femi. We've been traders. We have been investors. We did all kind of stuff for the last probably decade. I think we had a Bitcoin group back in 2017. They can all say that we still 10 years later we still don't know everything in the market, and you're going to be learning something every day. So I wouldn't even call it you don't become a perfectionist in the market. You It's more like law. It's called the practice of law because you're constantly getting better. So don't be afraid. Have the courage to learn a little bit every single day because you're not going to learn it all in one day. It took me 10 years to get to this spot, and my only goal is to try to cut y'all's time down in astronomically. I want to cut y'all down to a fraction, but again, it's not going to happen overnight. It's like learning a new language, the language of finance. All right, so a lot of y'all, a lot of y'all play fantasy football. Y'all plan weddings. Y'all went to the stores and hunted out a Black Friday deal, or y'all even run y'all's own household. I'm sure that all of y'all can say that. If you have any of those, if you've done any of those, you possess the skills to be very, very successful in the stock market. What those things do, they cause you to research, and they cause you to understand the value of a dollar, and also understand prices. Now we all know that prices and values are two different things. Now the best example that I can give y'all between price and value is a Netflix example. Okay. If I come to y'all and I say, hey, I work for Netflix, I can give you your monthly Netflix subscription for $1 a month. We all gonna jump on that. Why? Because the value is probably around $15 to $20. So it's being undervalued, right? Now, say if I come to you and I say, hey, I can get you your Netflix subscription for $15. You'll get to it when you want to. Why? Because it's fairly valued at that particular point. But if I come to y'all and I say, hey, I can get you a Netflix subscription for $100 a month, you're going to probably slam the door in my face. Why? Because it's overvalued. And the same thing, I kid you not, applies to stocks. There's valuation methods that I'm going to teach y'all, not all of them today, but some of them. But there's going to be metrics that I teach y'all that literally show you whether or not a stock is under, over, or fairly valued. And if you understand those three things, you are off to a great start. All right. Okay, so there's one definition that matters. A lot of people are saying, you're an investor, you must have sophisticated knowledge. I'm about to read this for y'all, and it may open your mind up to some stuff. Okay. A stock market investor is an individual or entity that allocates capital to purchase shares of a publicly traded company, expecting to generate a financial return through capital appreciation or income. Said another way, an investor in the stock market is simply somebody that purchases stocks in order to make money. Okay, by that definition, what that means is all you have to do is buy one share and you are now an investor. Okay, let me let in Sinclair. All right, so even $1 is enough. Okay, $1 is enough for you to call yourself an investor. Now, some of y'all may not have brokerage accounts, a lot of y'all do. But if you don't have one, a great place to start would be heavyreturns.com/start now. If you go there, it'll link you up with Robinhood, which in my belief is the most user friendly for beginners. And you can go ahead and get started. You deposit $1 and then you go buy a share of anything. If you want my suggestions on something, you can start with the S&P 500, and that's VOO. VOO. That's probably a good one. That's probably a great place to start. Literally deposit $1, buy VOO, and then you're now an investor. I will be recording a walkthrough on how to actually purchase it later on. I may drop that sometime this week. But if not, until I record that video, feel free to contact me and I'll walk y'all through it. But again, go ahead and do that now. If you don't have your $1, I will send you your $1. But I need all of y'all to become investors tonight. Okay? All right. So right now, I'm big on manifestation. I'm big on affirmation. I'm big on, believing in myself. What I need y'all to do is to type in the chat, I am an investor. Can y'all do that for me? Could that be the one thing that y'all do for me? Is just type, I am an investor in the chat. There you go. Double O, B Mac, TT. There you go. AJ, Pam, Ma, Avery. There you go. E, Smut, AJ, Grim. What's up, 50? Clark Kent, Desiree, Angel, Sharita. Hey, cuz. All right, Chuck. What's up, brother? All right, so look, y'all. I appreciate that. Y'all have to tell yourself, hey, T, what's up? What's up, Tiana? Y'all have to tell yourselves that y'all are investors. Okay, I'm hyped too, Chuck. Man, I swear, bro. Like, I'm I'm gonna get off on a little tangent real quick. What's up, Mutz? I'm like, I give my all to this stuff. Like, I love investing, y'all. Y'all just don't understand how much. Like, if y'all can look at my bookcase, I probably got over. Y'all can see all the books. All of them are investment books. Like, that's my passion, and I'm here to help. Like, God, this is my purpose. Like, yes, law does allow for me to help people, get people out of jail, and all that other stuff. But this is my purpose. Like, investing is what's going to allow me to empower y'all. So the more y'all are excited is the more I'm excited because I understand it, but I get even more amped when like y'all have a question, like or if y'all need help. Like so, this is huge to me. I'm thankful for y'all support, but when y'all say that y'all are investors, I'm like, okay, great. Now we starting to speak the same language. Okay, we don't have to be Warren Buffett, but at the end of the day, we will be investors and we will look out for each other, and that's the whole purpose of the group is positivity and building a community, so a community of investors. Okay, so I'm about to dive off into a little bit more financial stuff. Okay, so all right, so the way that I invest is three different pillars. Okay, I have three different accounts. I have long term, I have my day trading, and I have my swings, my leaps. Those are long term options. I will break those down to you. But right now, I just need y'all to focus, okay? So, what shares are, if you ever hear somebody, well, I own a couple shares, I own this. All the share is, in the simplest form, is just ownership of a company. That's it. So, if you go and you take your $1 and you decide to buy, who knows, Exxon, you put your $1 down, and again, Exxon can't be bought with fractional shares, and I'll explain that. But if you go and you buy Exxon for $1, like I said, you are now an investor. And my goal is for you guys to hold for the long term because that's where most of the returns are actually found. Now, circling back on what fractional shares are, if you go, let me figure out what the exact price of Exxon is right now, so I can explain that to y'all. Any of y'all know off the top of your head? Or y'all gonna make me look this up? All right, Exxon. Exxon right now is $149.68. So 150. Okay, so somebody comes and they say, "Hey, well, man, Trey told me to deposit my dollar. This price is 150. I can't buy it." Yes, you can. What you do is you still use that ticker symbol, like the symbol for the actual company. You use your $1 and you just buy a fractional share. So it will give you whatever percent of an actual share, but you still own a part of that company and you're still an investor. Okay, so that's what shares are. Now, options are a little bit more advanced. Options with that doesn't mean that you actually own the underlying share, but you have the opportunity to purchase it at a particular price. It gets very very advanced later on. It will talk about things like and strike prices and expirations and things like that. But I don't believe that wouldn't serve y'all today, especially for my people that are just starting. Now, if y'all want to have a off the record conversation with somebody else, well, at a later time and just discuss just straight options, I could do that with you all day. But for now, I just want y'all to be aware of what that is, and we'll go into more detail in the future because I do want to do these webinars. Maybe if not, twice a month, maybe at least once a month for sure. Okay, so this is a free game, right? So I think it might have been Chuck. Chuck, were you the one who said that you didn't have time to dedicate towards investing? I think that it was Chuck, if I'm not mistaken. I think he said that in the chat. Either way, long-term investing is probably your best choice. Okay, so with long-term Yeah, okay, I knew it, Chuck. I knew it. So with long-term investing, you could purchase these companies, you actually own them, and then you could hold them forever. You could put them in your will, you could transfer them to your children, you can leverage them. At the end of the day, they're now yours. Okay. With long-term investing, you don't have to look at the charts, you don't have to look at news every single day because it doesn't affect you. One day out of 10 years is not going to change your thesis on a particular stock unless something major happens. Okay, so what I've always suggested to people, this is what I do for long term. I do purchase other stocks outside of this, but for my long term basket, I purchased the Vanguard S&P 500 for two reasons. Number one, what the S&P, well, let me talk about that. The S&P 500 is America's top 500 companies, and they're all thrown into a basket. And then they average all the prices and they figure out the asset portfolios, and then they go ahead and enter what's called an index. And the index just gives you one actual price for all those 500, okay, in the form of a share. Now, the second reason that I like it is because it is low cost. It's a low expense ratio. Because it is an index that's managed by a computer, it's only a zero point zero 0.05 ratio, point zero 0.05 expense ratio, meaning your fees are very, very minimal. It's not like a mutual fund in y'all's 401k where those folks will charge you all those money and they're not giving you that many great returns. Okay. So that's why I suggest VOO is good for the people that just want to buy something, walk away, and go work, whatever it is that they want to do. QQQ is another good one. It has a low expense ratio, meaning low fees, right? But it has great returns because most of the NASDAQ 100, which is QQQ, is based on tech. And if y'all know anything, America's probably going to lead tech or be at the top for the next 3 to 5 decades, centuries, decades, whatever you want to put on it. So QQQ is a Nasdaq index, and it's been very, very lucrative. So that's another one. Now the final one is BTCI. With this one, it could be a little risky, and the reason is because Bitcoin itself is risky. Y'all may see Bitcoin be 120,000 one day, and then in a couple of weeks it'll be 60,000. But with me and my Bitcoin boys, Don, AJ, and BMag and Femi, we've been there since when Bitcoin was like 3,000, and it's been a hell of a ride. But at the end of the day, I personally believe in it. I don't believe in all the other ones, but I do think that Bitcoin is good. The good thing about BTCI is not just that you can actually keep buying BT. Yeah, for sure, Don. The big thing about Bitcoin is not that you have exposure to Bitcoin, like you can make money off of it, but also with this one provides dividends. Okay, it profit shares. So if Bitcoin goes up a good amount for that month, they'll actually send you a check without you cashing out your shares. They'll send you a check every single month based on the amount in proportion to what you actually own. Now, I suggest that you activate what's called dividend reinvestment because if you pour your dividends back into it, then your pile gets bigger and it compounds way faster. I don't believe in cashing out long term for two reasons. It's going to create taxable gains, and then it's going to tax your gains. But not just that, you're actually taking out of the bucket. You have my mom used to say you have a hole at the bottom of your pocket. So if you not stopping it up and just allowing for it to grow, it'll never grow. Y'all understand that? By what I mean by activating dividend reinvestment? All right, cool, cool. Got you, Diz. Got you. All right, so long. Let me go back to this real quick. So with the long term, again, this I would say before you buy something and you consider long term, expect to hold it at least 5 to 10 years. Me personally, these three things, my intention is to pass these on to my kids because things get swapped out. Like with the S&P 500, even if a company dies, they will put the next best company in there. So let's say, for instance, if Apple as a company died today, they would just go and replace another one. And this particular index is rigged to go up over time. All right, so it's with swing trading. You could take a screenshot of this one. So this one is like this has been like my bread and butter. Okay, so with swing trading, I'm using options, but what I do personally is I find a quality stock, and then whenever bad news comes out, I buy it at the money, and then I hold it for like anywhere from 9 months to 2 years. Right now, the best example of that is well, actually, let me see if I can show y'all. Okay, so the best example is that is I just entered into a Meta 600 strike price call. Okay, and that doesn't expire to 2027. Now with this particular stock, y'all know Meta because y'all on Instagram, y'all on Facebook, so y'all heard of the company. Y'all don't pay them any money, but they're being paid ad dollars in order for their company to go up in value. Okay, so every company is obligated by the SEC if they're on the stock exchange to report their earnings 4 times a year. So that's every 3 months. Okay, this is what I want to get to. Oh yeah, Don. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Okay, so every single company they're obligated to produce their earnings. Okay, they're saying it's like a report card. They're saying this is what we made, this is what we spent, this is our debt, and this is where we think we're going for the next chapter. That's pretty much all earnings is. Okay. Now, for some reason, Wall Street was upset with Mark Zuckerberg because he spent 10 billion in AI spending. Now, 10 billion to everybody in this chat is a lot of money. I agree. But 10 million to Meta and to Zuckerberg, that is a drop in the bucket. And it's not like he took the 10 billion and went out and spent it on some frivolous thing. He actually invested more into AI. Like, I don't understand why the stock dropped, but either way, the stock dropped like catastrophically. These are the sales that I look for when I enter into my swings. Every time I do a swing, I literally just here's the qualifications. I'm gonna tell y'all again. Quality company, bad news. You enter at the money, and then you just wait for 2 years. Like that screenshot that I had showed y'all. I think that it was maybe on Instagram. It was like for 165,000. If that was, believe that was either AMD or another one. I don't know which one it was, but either way, it had popped. Like it had went like I was up maybe about 30, 40,000, and then it shot up. And when it shot up, that's when I was able to make the 165,000 just in one day. And the reason why I was able to do that is because again, y'all follow along with me. Quality company, bad news, enter at the money, hold for the long term. If y'all do that on swings, it's y'all will print money in y'all sleep. Okay, but everything is not peaches and cream. So the reason why I was able to find out this method is by learning the hard way. Mom say, hard head make a soft. That's how I learned. I didn't learn by people saying stuff. I learned by me actually going through it. So what I did was maybe like, I don't know, 3 to 4 years ago, I was in a Tesla options call. Okay. I was expecting that Tesla was going to go up in value because I was basing it on some news that I thought that was going to come through at the time. My thing is, I went so far out of the money. So the stock price at that particular point was before the split. Let's just make up a number. I think at that time it was around 400. I had bought a call for like 600. Stupid, I know. And I had only gave myself a week for it to get there. And I don't know. I think I bought them because they were so cheap. But either way, I had spent 25,000 and I had bought like maybe like 1,000 options call. Okay. And well, 1,000 contracts. And with those particular contracts, like they expire worthless because by the time that next week came, the price didn't go up to 600 per share. So I was out. I had lost 25,000 like that in a week, gone. So I went back to the drawing board. I said, all right, what went wrong? Well, number one, I went way too far outside of the money with my options call. It was 400. I went 600. Why I just didn't go up to 400 and just buy less contracts, right? And then I gave myself time, y'all. Like on these options contracts, unless you're day trading, on these, we're gonna get in that too. But unless you're day trading, if you're gonna be purchasing stocks via options, you're gonna have to like hold on to those. Give yourself some time. Allow for the stock to breathe and fluctuate because the stock goes like it moves up and down. It's not a straight line. So at the end of the day, like you have to be patient when you're doing leaps. In my opinion, leaps is going to get you the most return in the relatively short amount of time. And by relative, I mean 9 months to 2 years. Long term, that's where you hold that for 10, 20, 30 years, and then that compounds along the way. And now you have this big old nest egg. But if you want something that's very, very lucrative in half the amount of, well, not even half, like a fraction of the time, leaps will be good because those things pan out. Like I'll buy them for 9 months to 2 years, but those things normally pan out like 3 to 6 months. And right now I'm at y'all could keep an eye on this one, but right now I'm in the Meta. Okay, Meta is the ticker symbol. 600, that's my strike price, and it doesn't expire until 2027. So I have until 2027 for it to go past 600. Meta's at 600 right now. It just dropped $60 the other day, so it's gonna go up, and we all know that. And here's the actual trade. So I bought 10 contracts. Each contract was about 11,000. So it cost me 11. Well, it cost me $110,400. All right. So now, when you day trade, this is super advanced. So I'm gonna touch on this lightly, and I do want to have another webinar sometime this week with just my day traders, people that understand the options lingo, so that I could teach you my method. But I'm gonna go ahead and kind of give my rules. I'm gonna lightly tap it because I know for some beginners this may sound like Greek. Okay, but number one, you never want to trade off what somebody tells you. You know, your homeboy at the job. You know, your girlfriend at the salon, whoever, like they're gonna tell you, oh yeah, I just bought this whatever, but you don't know the context of why they bought it. You don't know how much they put into it, and you don't even know if they actually bought it, if they just repeating what somebody else said. So you never want to put your hard-earned money into what somebody else said. You want to do your research, okay? And I will provide you the tools on how to research, but at the end of the day, it has to be up to you to decide whether or not to get into these particular stocks. Like that's the biggest advice I could give any of y'all. At the end of the day, y'all need to be the one to research these things. Okay, when you do day trade, when you're not buying stuff for the long term and you're just focused on just that particular day, max two trades for actually two reasons. You want to protect from fear and you want to protect from greed. Okay, like you don't want to, well, you don't want to overtrade. Okay, because if you overtrade, you're more likely to actually lose money. You just want to be patient, wait for opportunities. If there's one, go ahead and trade. If not, then you don't trade. Okay. If you implement that system, your numbers will be fine. You'll do excellent in this type of arena. Number three is you got to know your entry, you got to know your exit, and then you got to know your why before you even get into it. Okay. But you have to write it down. You can't just think it, snap decision, and do it, because anytime that I've ever done that, I've lost money. So every time I make a trade, I'm writing down my entry, where I think prices, where I think I want to get at. I'm looking at where I want to take my profits or where I want to cut my losses, and then most important, my why. Why am I getting to this right now? And if I can't explain to myself why I'm getting into it, I just walk away and I don't get into it. You have to learn how to protect your capital. Okay. That's the rule number one is never lose money. Rule number two is don't forget rule number one. Okay. All right. So number four, you got to exit where you say you were going to exit. You can't hold on to losing trades, because you will lose way more than what you would have if you just would have got out. And you can't hold on to stuff thinking that it's going to continue to go up just because you're making money. Again, it goes back to rule three. If you know your exit, then get out when you say that you would. Period. If you lost on it, if you won on it, it doesn't matter, because with the system that I will teach you, it's all about risk management. And so if you're only using 5% of your account and it goes against you and you lose it, well, you're fine, because with the things that we use, you're gonna make it over time. But if you're saying, nah, I'm gonna hold on to this one, I'm gonna hold on to it, that's when you're gonna lose the whole thing. So it's all about repetitions, and that's why I this is like synonymous with working out. Is one rep at a time. Day in, day out is discipline. This is not microwave. This is it's like baking a turkey. It's gonna take time. All right, so I got a little bit more that I'm gonna allow y'all to have some questions. Okay, so all right, so there's three inputs that drive every single trade that I do. Okay, you have technicals, you have fundamentals, and you have market sentiment. Okay, technicals, fundamentals, market sentiment. If you do all three of those, no matter what you're doing, and that's long term, that's day trading and swing trading. If you do those three things every time before you invest, I guarantee you it will make you a better investor. Okay, so this is technicals, right? So these are what's called candlesticks. All this is just a visual of what price is doing over time. That's all. It's a visual of what price is doing over time. It's not Chinese, it's not anything like that. We have excellent traders in here that will assist me with teaching you. Matter of fact, Don, if you could say something real quick, Don is probably one of the best traders that I personally know on the when it comes down to technicals. But we use. Go ahead, Don. Say something, brother.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Uh, Technicals are basically just like extra confirmation to whatever you hear in the news. Um, I'm actually gonna learn from Trey that not all technicals don't need to be like the be all of everything. You need all indicators to kind of work together in congruency to like know what you gonna do as far as the trade goes. But yeah, technicals are pretty important. They can kind of, I like to think that they can kind of predict the future, but they can't because you still need news and things as like an extra catalyst. But yeah, they're very important. And once you get the hang of them, yeah, it's pretty dope.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks, Don. All right, so with technicals, again, they're a visual of what price is doing over time. All right. What I want y'all to do is y'all can go to heavyreturns.com/charts and y'all can go straight to trading view. That's what I use. That's what Don used. I think that BMAC and the rest of the gang, everybody else uses it. But trading view is where you can get to learn and do your chart time. Okay. Because I will have a webinar, like a long webinar on just technicals and breaking that down more in detail. But to expand about what he was saying was technicals will suggest where price is going, but I personally add volume in. Yeah, okay, yep, Don, yep, it's free. That's another thing. TradingView is free. Everything that I'm telling y'all is either cheap or free. That's it. Like there's so much game being dropped. But yeah, so if y'all go to TradingView, it's free. Set up an account, and we can walk through it. That's what you use. Okay, double O, good job, brother. But yeah, heavyreturns.com/charts, it'll take y'all straight there. Now, with this particular thing, I use technicals, but I also use volume as well. The book that I suggest that y'all get is called A Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis by Anna Colin. She also has a YouTube. Like this lady, she's British. She's been actually trading for like over like 30, 40 years. But man, she is one of the coldest. And she's just a good resource. But y'all go to YouTube and type her name in, Anna Colin, and then y'all buy her book. Yeah, I want to learn this day trade. Yeah, okay, 50. I got you, bro. I'm here. I'm here. So what she's going to teach you is volume trading. Okay, so with these candlesticks, yes, they suggest where price is going, but more importantly, it's the conviction, the strength of the move. Like, what is the actual institution saying? Okay, versus retail, which brings me to another point. And if I'm dropping too much, y'all let me know. But okay, so back in the day, like when I first started investing, I used to watch CNBC, and they used to say retail traders, or retail money, or just retail. And I'm like, why they keep talking about people that be going to Walmart and all this other stuff? Later, I found out what retail meant is everybody that's not a part of a hedge fund or some kind of institution, such as like JP Morgan Chase. Yep, appreciate it, Don. JP Morgan Chase, or even Goldman Sachs and all of the other big, those are institutions. Everybody else retail. So we're retail. Everybody's on this call, we're retail traders. Now, here's the thing. Who do you think is more sophisticated when it comes to the market? Retail or institutions? Clearly it's institutions. So with volume shows you how to follow the institutional money, because they will do things to kind of trick you out of your money. Because retailers see a trade and they be like, oh, the candles say this. Well, there's no volume or there's no movement behind that move. So now you just really donated your money to institutions. So with her, she literally like breaks down how to understand what institutional money is doing. And if you do that, like again, your trading is going to be next level. Also, this is a good point. So this is why I call myself flow. So because I focus on volume, and volume is called order flow. What's happening? Price is literally a tug of war, buying and selling between two parties, and price goes whoever has the most strength. Y'all understand that? It's just a tug of war. That's all it is. So if you see price going up, that's somebody winning the tug of war game. by pulling it up. And if you see price going down, well, you see that the bears are the people that's pulling it down. They're winning, and there's strength behind that conviction. So yes, technicals are important, but more important is volume. Volume will tell you everything you need to know. I believe that Don, and the reason why I'm spending so much time on this is because I believe that when we had first started this group back a couple weeks ago or whatever, Don had made a trade and we had a conversation about volume. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to remind him and just ingrain in his mind volume, 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 volume. Like if you get that, y'all be fine. And y'all gonna hear me. Y'all gonna get tired of me saying it, but it's gonna make you money, and that's all I care about. So, all right, now fundamentals. I do a lot of focusing on news. And y'all follow my TikTok and my Instagram and any other social media. Y'all just type in heavy returns. But I focus a lot on the fundamentals. And what fundamentals is the news. Don spoke about catalysts, right? So if you're in this trade and you're thinking that price is going to go up, but it just keeps hitting the resistance, well, you need a catalyst such as good news. You can substitute the good news for catalyst. You need good news to push the price upward. Okay, and then vice versa. You need a negative catalyst. For instance, when it was Meta, the negative catalyst for that was the AI spending. I don't look at it as a negative, but that's how Wall Street looked at it. Okay, but yeah, so you need earnings reports. Those are called the 10 Qs. Those come out again 4 times a year, every 3 months. They'll report their revenue, their debt, and even guidance. If you hear Elon Musk come on there and say, "Hey, we made record earnings this year with Tesla, or we've sold the most amount of cars that we've ever sold," Tesla's probably going to shoot up at least $10 to $20 right after he sends that tweet out. And those are what we refer to as fundamentals. Now, I use Yahoo Finance, I use Thinkorswim, Unusual Wells, CNBC, and then Twitter. The most important for those who are beginners are probably Yahoo Finance and then Twitter. Okay, there's a lot of good information that's out on Twitter. The best person to probably follow on Twitter is Walter Bloomberg. He reports stuff before it even hits the news. That's probably like my favorite person to follow, but y'all check him out. His name is Walter Bloomberg on Twitter. Go ahead and follow him, or X, whatever y'all want to call it. Okay. Now, you also want to have Yahoo Finance. Well, Yahoo Finance is, I'll give y'all my watch list of all the stocks that I'm watching. And what happens is every time some news comes out, it'll come straight to your phone, and then boom, that'll be an opportunity for you to A, either learn, or B, enter a trade. So fundamentals is very, very important. Okay. Now, market sentiment is like the overall picture of news. Okay. So it's kind of the same thing, but it's a little bit more advanced. Well, market sentiment is more or less like, okay, you have a stock, the technicals are saying that it's going to go up. You have a positive catalyst saying that, hey, you made all of this money, all this record money or whatever, and that the stock is supposed to appreciate in value. But then the overall market is down. The best example I could give y'all is that, okay, let's say Nvidia, for instance, just sold, 1 billion chips, and they the most expensive company in the world, and all it is, and the technicals say, hey, it's a buy. But then y'all's president comes out and say, oh yeah, we about to bomb Iran. Do you think that the market cares about Nvidia that day? Absolutely not. So that's market sentiment. Market sentiment is the overall temperature of the entire market. And that is just as important as the stock itself, because you can be at a great stock, but it could be the wrong time. Okay. So I want y'all to kind of focus on technicals. Okay. That's price action and volume. Fundamentals, that's the health of the company business wise. Profits, maybe they're developing, new opportunities, whatever it is. Just look for positive catalysts. And then finally, market sentiment. What is the market saying? The best place to look at what the market is saying, and I know y'all probably don't want to, but if y'all go to Twitter and y'all type in unofficial Trump tweets, it'll pull all his information, all his tweets from truth.com, and it'll post real time. So anytime he says something, then that's where you get that information. At the end of the day, we can't control who the president is, but what we can do is we could profit off of the information that's being provided to us. Okay. So y'all have to look at it like a pyramid. Long term is your foundation. That's what's going to be with you for the rest of your life. Swing trading, that's what's gonna, probably supplement your salary. And then day trading, that's gonna be your spending money. Now, if for my readers out there, if y'all want to get some books, y'all can take a screenshot of this. Again, I will be sending a copy of this out, but these are the 5 books that kind of gave me a lot of the knowledge that I have. These are like my 5 best recommendations, and they're not hard reads. Okay. All right. So first is the Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. That is a very, very old book, but they rewrote it to where we can understand it today. It's probably like 100 and some years old, but it's about Jesse Livermore. Jesse Livermore was probably the coldest trader, and what he noticed was that it wasn't even about price; it was about volume. Now y'all see why that's where I got it from. Okay, from Anna and from Jesse Livermore. Edwin is actually the guy who rewrote the book, but if y'all look up Jesse Livermore, you'll learn a whole lot about how he traded, and it'll be very beneficial. One Up on Wall Street is on how to value a stock. Peter Lynch is a very famous investor. He coined the term "tin bagger," meaning this he finds stocks. His whole philosophy was, I'm not investing in. Yeah, you do, Don. His whole philosophy was that I'm not investing to a stock unless I have the expectation that this stock is going to go up by 10 times. So he called them tin baggers, and he put out his criteria on how to value those. It's a very great read, and it's not hard to read at all. The next one is Trading in the Zone, okay, by Mark Douglas. What I'm trying to work out right now is getting the audio recording for y'all because I think that this one is better to be listened to, not necessarily read, because it's more like how do I put it? It's not a mantra or like it's not he's not really repeating himself, but what it is that he's conditioning your mind to focus on the trade that's in front of you, forget what's already passed already, and not being greedy and not being fearful is all about the psychology. And that book is the #1 book on trader psychology. If you type it in Google, it's probably going to come up. I think I might have the PDF for that one if y'all want to read it, but I'm working on the audio recording because this is a book that you have to listen to, not read. Motley's Investment Guide. Those brothers are funny. So if y'all have ever heard of, you got the PDF, BMAC, can you drop that in the, so I'm gonna make a resources channel on the Discord. If you could drop that for the group. Thank you, brother. All right, so with Motley's Fool's Investment Guide, so it's kind of like One Up on Wall Street with Peter Lynch, but with this one, they're more comical, and then they give you like just more insight on how Wall Street works, and it's more up to date, and they're more for the everyday person. This is probably the best. Like honestly, the Motley's Fool Investment Guide is probably the best and big beginner's book to read because it's enjoyable. It's an easy read, and you'll understand, and they'll break it down to you. These guys, they invested in Amazon early on. They invested in Nvidia early on. Like they are loaded, but they explain it to you like a baby can understand it. So that's why I really like them. And I'm a member of the Motley's Fool group as well. So any information that I have there, I'll share it with y'all. Right now they're recommending Rocket Labs. So if y'all look at Rocket Labs, it's going up. I've been in Rocket Labs for like maybe like the last 6 months. I think AJ, whenever you had texted me that day about 6 months ago, that's when I got in Rocket Labs. Maybe like a month before that. But either way, Rocket Labs is it's a space company, and that's what they saying that Rocket Labs is going to be the next Nvidia, the next Amazon, the next whatever. That's how convicted they are about that particular one. And then finally, but definitely not least, it's the Essays of Warren Buffett. I'm sure y'all all know Warren Buffett is the greatest investor of all time. There's no debating that. He owned Berkshire Hathaway. He recently retired last year. Well, every single year for his shareholders, the people that own parts of his fund, he would write a letter, an annual letter, where he broke down just terms, insights, and a lot of the ways that he invested. There was so much that I learned from him. You could buy that book if you want it all together. If you want to just go online and just find it for free, all you have to do is type in the Essays of Warren Buffett, and literally it'll take you to everything that he's written. I think he started writing them in like the late '60s, but there's all the way up till now, he's written a letter every year. And they're good reads, man. He'll talk about everything from management to revenues to formulas, like it, and it's a very good read. So y'all screenshot that, even though I am gonna send this to you, okay? This is my routine. I'll blow through this, but wake up 4:30 in the morning. I go to the gym. After I work out, I'm straight pre-market. I do want to do pre-market hour for just the members that's in here. Once I do start that, because I want to make it special. I want to make it worth it. I want y'all to get up with me, okay? But I want to do the pre-market charts and setups and kind of go through everything I'm seeing in the market before it actually opens. And I want to do that Monday through Friday. So I'll let y'all know when I start that. For us that's here in Houston, the market opens at 8:30 and it closes at 3 o'clock. For people that's in New York, it starts at 9:30 and closes at 4 o'clock. People that's in Cali, I can't do the math right now, but Double O could tell us. All right, and then by 3 o'clock at the once the trading day closes, I always write in my journal what happened that day, what were the closing prices of the stocks that I'm been like really eyeing, how I'm feeling, and then my outlook for the week. Okay, then after that, I'm free. I'm do whatever I want to do. Yeah, see, 6:30 on the West Coast. Yeah, yeah, right. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so if y'all don't get anything else from me, just remember patience. Patience with yourself, patience with life, patience with your family, patience with trading. Like it's not gonna all come through like immediately. It's gonna take some time, okay? Again, do your own research always. Even if you hear from me, like I'll be wrong. There have been times I've been wrong. Now I'm way more right than I'm wrong. But at the end of the day, I'm not infallible. It's like I'm still human. Okay. And again, your entry, your exit, your why before you enter. Okay. I'm gonna go through this roadmap real quick, and then we're gonna open it up for verbal questions. Okay. So this is the vision that I have for the group. All right. So every Sunday, probably starting in like the next couple of weeks, once we build out the entire studio. But what we're gonna start doing is every Sunday I'm gonna record the heavy return show, or I'm actually gonna drop it every Sunday. I probably record on Saturdays, but I'm gonna drop it every Sunday at 12 o'clock. I'm gonna talk about earnings, the stocks I'm watching, major news. I'm gonna have guests on, and then I want to showcase some of y'all. This would be an opportunity for some of y'all to showcase your business. Again, we have doctors, lawyers, barbers, construction. Like, I want to showcase people and kind of show the group what we have. And you never know. This is an opportunity for y'all to do some more business, to make more money, to pour more money into the market. So that'll be an opportunity for y'all. And then exactly at 12 o'clock, I will be doing a newsletter because I have all y'all's email, but I'll be doing a newsletter called The Outlook. And what that'll do is that'll give announcements so you'll be up to date on anything, any webinars that I'm having. You'll be up to date if I came across any resources, like maybe a new book that I want y'all to check out, or maybe a new YouTube video. And then anything else like that, anything that I think that y'all should know is going to be in that newsletter that will come out every Sunday at 12 o'clock. I'm starting that immediately. Again, the show will probably start once we finish with the studio. Okay, so for my people that never use Discord, like, how do I explain this? Like, y'all got to get in there. Like, I want y'all to dive in there, post what you find about stocks, talk, get to know each other. Like it ain't moving enough for me. Y'all gotta learn each other. We gotta communicate. We gotta build. Like we need to dive in because we ain't gonna get out of it what we only get out of it what we put into it. So I need y'all to step it up and talk. Ask me questions. Ask anybody questions. Enlighten us. Maybe you have some information that may be important, but at the end of the day, y'all need to jump in there. The best place to do that is once you go on the Discord, you just click main chat. It's right there on the side. It's hashtag main chat. That's where most of us are going to talk all the time. Okay. That's a good one. The long term, once I start dropping the classes for the people that do take the classes, they'll have access to the long term. People that take day trading, the day trading course, will have access to that. People that do leaps, same thing. Okay. Now, as a resource for y'all, is I with Claude Code was what I used primarily to do like all of my stuff. But what I did was I created a bot called Flowbot News. If you type in any ticker symbol for any stock that y'all want to learn about, if you type that in that chat, it will produce at least 3 to 4 news articles about the latest news. And it'll just come right up and you can go read that and you can literally learn about a stock right then and there. So this is a tool for y'all to go ahead and get some information. Resources is what we're going to use to drop any game for anybody. So, for instance, with BMAC, he's going to put in the PDF for that book that we were talking about. He's going to put that in in the resources channel. So all you have to do is just go there and click it. When I get the recording for the Trader Psychology book or the Trading in the Zone book, it'll be there. So anytime you want to look for books, links, stuff like that, all of that stuff will be there, okay, in resources. And then I'm working on a bot called AskFlow, and I think it's ready. But all you do is go there, and if you ever hear a term, and look, this is actually a great point. So look, every day I need y'all to watch CNBC at least 1 hour, just 1 hour, okay? And you ain't gonna know what the hell they talking about. I promise you, you probably not, because I didn't at first. But what I need you to do is with a pen and a pad, all you have to do is just write down the words that they say that you don't understand. For instance, back then I would have wrote down retail trader. Okay. You write down your list and then you go into this Discord and then you go to Ask Flow, that channel, and you say, hey, what is a retail trader? Boom. It's going to shoot it back to you and tell you exactly what it is in 2 sentences. Again, this is going to be free game for y'all. So I need everybody in here to commit to watching CNBC 1 hour out the day. It's going to be boring. You ain't going to understand nothing. But hey, if y'all want to make some money, y'all got to do the reps. Okay. And if for the people that's in the chat, if you're not in the Discord, go to heavyreturns.com/Discord, download the app, and then go ahead and join and get active. I need y'all active. I need y'all talking. I need to, what I'm saying? It can't just be me and Don in there talking all the time. We need everybody to talk. I think Double O talks sometime, Eric talks sometime, Angel talks sometime, and T here and there. But other than that, we just need more people to show up because we're trying to help each other. We'll grow if we benefit each other. Now, when I drop the courses after studio is done, then the order that they're going to be is going to be long term, leap, and then day trading. And then finally, I'm doing a giveaway. Okay, so right now, if you go and you tag this particular post, or even if you go onto heavyreturns.com, you'll see this post up. All you got to do is just repost it to your IG story. You follow Heavy Returns social media account, and then you just tag 3 friends, and then you're automatically entered. What it is $1,000 to your trading account, and then it's 3 hours with me, and I will break down anything that you want me to break down, whatever it is. I don't care. But that's my giveaway. That's my gift to y'all. So please go ahead and do that. All right. Finally, we already talked about this part. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go Q&A. So I'm gonna just rattle them off. So if you got something to say, just jump in. So who's
So who's
first?
first? Hey, can you go back real quick? Let me see that $1,000 giveaway.
Hey, let me
All
move
right.
this thing. Hold on. Let me move it. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Let me move this. All right. You can go ahead and do it now. All right, cool.
All
All
right.
right, so y'all hit me with the questions. What's going on? Do we get an entry each time we repost and tag more? I would say if you for every 3 people you tag, that's 1 entry. Let's do that. Because all I'm doing is screenshotting these and putting them to Claude, and Claude's gonna run them randomly. It is gonna tell me, but I'll teach it to say, for every 3 people you get an extra entry. So I'll do that. All right. Okay. So hit me with some questions, y'all. Y'all go ahead and talk. Y'all unmute.
So, quick question. Now, like I used to day trade, and then all my returns I would put it into long plays, right? So
Right.
companies that I really felt like were going to do great in the future, I'm buying that stock with all my returns from my day trade. And that was really just an hour on Fridays of doing the work. I only did day traded 3 stocks. And then on Monday, I would do that early morning trade on Monday. I'm in for 10, 15 minutes, I'm out, right? So
Right.
10, 15% returns. That's all I was looking for. What's your investment as far as research? And you're doing, 3 different levels. Like how much do you put into day trades? How much do you put into leaps? How much do you put into your long-term stocks?
Well, so here's the thing. No, Angel, I'm not on Facebook. But so here's the thing. Like because I'm so passionate about it, I dedicate a lot of my time into it. And when you're researching, it actually serves, you can research one part of it and it's going to serve every single purpose. The only thing that you're going to see that's different from, because mostly, let me admit them, that most of this stuff is fundamental. Like at the end of the day, most of the stuff is fundamental. So I'll look at the news as it pops up on my phone, and then with technicals, I try to get at least an hour of chart time every single day. Like I commit to that, even though it's boring, even though whatever. I like commit to an hour of chart time, and then the only thing outside of that would be the order flow. So if I'm looking at volume in particular, I use unusual wells. I may use about, I don't know, maybe like an hour, hour and a half, maybe a couple times a week, because you'll see that the institution, they don't purchase every day. So I'm literally just screening the flow to see when they get in, and that may happen like maybe once or twice a week or something like that. So it just really just depends. But I'm looking at news all day. I get notifications all the time.
Is that just based on the news? That's how you focus, like what stocks you're gonna focus on, and really do more deeper researching.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And then I'm
Okay.
in a lot of I'm in a lot of Reddit groups. I'm in Honey Drip with Aristotle. I'm in Wall Street Trappers. I'm in like 10 different, like, my, you know what I'm saying? Like in 10 different like investment groups. So when you start to hear stuff repeated like over and over and over, you be like, okay, bet. Seven of the groups that I'm in are talking about it. I probably should pay attention. So, and I'll be dropping that in the chat. Like when I come across something, I will put it there so y'all can see it. Okay. Who else got? Hammond. Definitely had some questions. I know you had some questions. Okay, he don't want to talk. Okay, Mutts, go ahead and unmute real quick. Hey,
Yo,
what's
like,
up? What's up? All right, so everybody,
man,
this is my cousin. Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't know if you went out. Can you hear me?
yeah.
All
I
right,
hear
cool.
you.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so this is my cousin from Philadelphia, and he's been wanting to learn. He's accomplished a lot in his life, so I know he's going to be excellent. But he's been wanting to learn. So you have the floor. If there's any questions that you want to ask me about or anything like that, we could dive into it.
No, I mean I'm following it. I took a good amount of notes here, man. You know, I was I, I was happy to hear when you spoke about the monthly dividends. I remember when I used to work for Lincoln Financial, and everyone would talk about that monthly check or that quarterly check that would come in, and they spoke of it as extra money. But I never heard anybody say use it as just a reinvestment back into the stocks that you're investing in. I think that's clearly a good a good practice. Um, but right now, really just following, man, and I'm just happy to see that you got your something going. The and also you got a few of your you got a few of your riders with you, man. So and knowing that you're not just the only one that's in this investing thing. You got other brothers on here that you guys been riding with for years, man, and the proof is in the pudding,
Right.
right? And
Right.
so it's like you know, no time like the right time, right? And the time is now. So right now, I'm just like really just following the lead, man, and taking down some notes just like when I uh seen the post, I joined the Discord, I joined and everything. I think it's just more so of understand, okay, so everything is through heavyreturns.com/XYZ, whatever you're
Yep.
looking for. So whether it's chats, whether it's Discord, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I mean, I know we'll I used to have Robinhood.
Well,
And I don't know what
you
happened,
need
but
to
I'm
you
back.
need to get that back. You need to download it.
Yeah,
Even
I
if
will.
so, here's the
I will
thing.
have it. I will have it tonight.
Good, good, good. Because
Yeah,
you are an
yeah, yeah,
investor, right? So you
yeah,
you got to
absolutely.
download it. That way you could just at least be aware of what prices are. Okay.
Right,
That like
right,
I want y'all to build the mental muscle. It's not simply just making sure you buy every day. It's of being
right.
aware of the information. So when the best opportunities present themselves, you could jump in.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, so download that.
yeah, definitely. And
Um,
I think the one of the things that, because Sharita and I, we both had it. One of the things that I think for me fell off of it because we just didn't quite understand it,
right,
right? But now you have there's a template of someone that you actually know, opposed to trying to follow someone, that, what is this person talking about? Is it,
right,
is it real or is it legit or whatever? And so you have like someone that you trust, someone that you recognize that you got meat in the game. So, there's nothing wrong with following your lead on this.
right,
Um,
right, right,
and like you said, it takes time, but just knowing, like I look at, um, what was it? When you spoke about I believe it was the long term, the swing, no, the swing trading. So in
uh-huh,
my head, I looked at it like I remember they used to say, you know, a certain age when you're young, you go aggressive. So I identified that swing trading as being aggressive. And this was
right,
in mutual funds, whatever. And they spoke about the long term, focusing on things like that. So, I mean, some of it sounds familiar and some of it sounds like Chinese. But at the end of the
right,
day,
right.
we just learn a different language.
That's
And
it.
yeah, my household here for it.
Right, right. So that I mean that so that's the whole purpose of the group. That's my vision for the group. Because if everybody can, learn it at the end of the day, let me let Dominique back in. But yeah, that's my vision for the group is because at the end of the day, I'm here to help teach y'all. I'm here to kind of explain a lot of the things that y'all may not get on y'all's own. TT, you have a question. So her question is being being in the air full time for the flight attendant life, what would be the best course of action? With you is everything that I've been suggesting. You probably want to do index funds or something long term. Maybe swings would be fine too. But day trading I wouldn't suggest because you have to be locked in on those. You have to be following those particular things. Let's see. Who else we got? We got Femi. Femi, you want to say something? You good? Marcus, Ramon, BMAC, y'all all gonna be quiet? Okay. I guess y'all like, okay, we just gotta get straight to the money. It's all good.
Hold on, I got a question.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I got a question.
Talk.
So, when you're doing not necessarily long term, but like if you're doing day trading in leaps, are you getting in more times than not at the money and letting it run, or are you getting in out of the money? Like, I mean, it's gonna if you got conviction, it's gonna hit out of the money regardless, right? But when
Right.
you enter the trade, do you enter it from like a on the money uh like do you enter it on the money? Basically, that's what I'm asking.
Right. So man, actually a great question. All right. So for my leap strategy, the one where I say the negative catalyst comes to a quality company, I'm always gonna
Yeah.
go at the money. Because
Okay.
why not? It's cheaper. For
Okay.
those, I'll go at the money. For a lot of my day trading, and y'all can type this in or y'all can write it down, but I trade SPX.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I trade SPX and then I go. It expires that day. It's zero DTE. I'll send y'all a YouTube video on that. But with SPX zero DTE, I'll go out of the money slightly because basically those things be moving, man. Like they just move. So to answer your question for leaps, I go always go at the money after
Mm-hmm.
bad news comes, and then for my day trading, I'll go out the money a little bit, but I don't be
Okay.
like it won't be like astronomical. For instance, if the S&P is at 73.50 right now, I may go 73.70 or
Gotcha.
73.20. I may take a put, take the 73.20. It just depends.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
going. Yeah, but it's not super optimistic. I'm like maybe 10 to 20 points away. But if you write this down on Thinkorswim, they'll have
Mm-hmm.
a plus or minus IV indicator, and it'll have a number
Oh
right there
yes,
next
yeah.
to it, and that'll tell you the likelihood of that option panning out. So if it has like a 60% conviction, and it'll say plus or minus $20, that's how far
Mm-hmm.
out the money I'll go. So if it says
Okay.
60% conviction on $10, well, I ain't going $30 out the way. I'll just go $10.
Okay. And then whatever it goes above like the strike, like if it hits strike and keep on going, you get all that too. So
Hey man, you
may
get
as
all
well.
that.
I got you.
Yes, you get
I
all
got
that,
you.
bro. You get all that, brother. Yep, yep, yep.
Um, and what was I gonna ask again? I think last Friday I experienced it. I asked this because I placed the trade, but I placed it like outside of the money, and like
Hmm.
I think I started getting like a trade decay for the first time, and I said,
Yeah,
"Oh, this is what it is," because price was moving in my favor, but I wasn't really making no money off of it. Like as when it came closer to getting to like the day's expiration,
right.
yeah. So is that what that is?
Right. Okay. All right. So for instance, yes, Chuck, leaps would be great, bro. Like long term and then leaps. Okay, so Don, if so every options contract is priced by what's called the Greeks. And I'll send
Mm-hmm.
y'all a video in the chat. One of the Greek is four main ones. There are other ones, but the four main ones, one of them being theta. Theta is time decay. So
Yeah.
as your stock approaches expiration, it'll be like literally ate away. For instance, there's some times where, depending on the stock, you could be the strike price could be 600, the stock could be at 610, but because of theta, you could still
Yeah. Yeah.
break even. Yes,
Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
yo, it's going in my
yeah.
favor, but I'm not making enough of this. Yeah, okay.
Exactly, exactly. So you have to be aware of all of the Greeks, and when we do our day trading course on all of that, I'm gonna break all of that down. Like
Okay,
it's
bet.
that's yeah, Greeks were intimidating. That was probably the hardest part to understand, but once I got it, it was simple.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Bet,
sure,
bet, bet.
for sure, for sure. We gotta lock in. Dog, we gotta do like chart time together or something, man, for the group.
I'm with it.
Yeah, okay. We'll figure out a time, man. We'll figure
I'm
something
with
out.
it, bro.
All right, that's a bet. Who else? Let me look at this chat. Let me see. Yeah, but Chuck, yes, leaps would be great for you. I think you said you was a project manager. You don't have that much time, but yes, leaps would be great for you because you can still look at news and still get in. Like right now, Meta's still floating around 600. I think it's at 598. It's been bouncing between like around 598 all the way to like 615. It's still that's still a good play. So with leaps, your window will be at least a couple of weeks. You won't have to worry about trading that particular day. So yes, you'll have opportunities. Um, man, sometimes we feel like okay, all right. So 50, can you unmute yourself real quick? I want to talk to you real quick.
What's up, bro? I'm here.
Hey, what's up? All right, so you say for sure, Chuck. All right, man. So look, you say that it sounds like Greek. So what is it that you don't understand so that I can help you? Talk to
I mean,
me.
I've done some long term plays. You know what I mean? I got like the basics. Apple, Microsoft. A couple of little. I got Tesla.
Hmm.
I played around with Doge when it first got popping. I hit a little bit on that, but I want to really get into the day trading. But I just
Hmm.
don't know. You know what I mean? I guess the when should I get in? When should I
Right.
get out? You know what I mean? That type of play. It
Okay.
could be more fear of not just knowing how long to stay in and then just being too scared to actually push the button on it. But I
Right.
mean, I'm learning, I'm hearing it, and I'm definitely gonna look up those books and read a little bit more on it. But I mean, I'm a beginner in it. I'm not scared to say it for sure. You know what I mean? I come from a
Yeah.
family, you know what I mean, that never played with stocks or thought about putting
Same.
money into something that wasn't tangible that they really couldn't just see profit. You know what I mean? You got to work for it. So this whole thing is new. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Same, same. So man, I come from a family like man, I guess I'm the one that's teaching all my elders. Like man, there's many of my family so much of my family that's actually in this chat right now. But yeah, same thing, man. Nobody gave this to me. I had to figure it out. But either way, man, I'm here to try to make everybody else's journey like that's my purpose is to make everybody else's journey easier. So, all right, with you said that you need to learn how to like get in, get out, all that. So technicals is going to be like when you're day trading, technicals is going to be the easiest thing, okay, for you to learn that. All right. So with technicals, that's like the candlesticks and things like that. Once me and Don figure out chart time, I need you to go ahead. All right, T, bye. I love you. Once once me and Don figure out that time, I need you to attend that so that we could kind of break it down and show you how we
Oh no,
trade.
definitely, bro. I'm in it.
Yeah,
Anytime
yeah,
y'all got something scheduled, man, I'm all in it for learning, bro. And then
for
you know what I
sure.
mean? Because I just want to know like what's a safe, not a safe bet, but what's a good number to start playing with. You know what I mean? I don't want to be over here trying to day trade at thousands of dollars here and there. You know
Right,
what
and
I'm
you don't know
saying?
what
I'm
you're doing,
trying
and
to,
you don't know what you're
yeah,
doing.
I'm gonna be good just making,
Right.
150, 200 extra dollars a day. You know what I'm saying? That's good
Yeah, for
enough for
sure.
me, you know?
Okay, so that brings up a great point, right? So investing is relative. I can't tell anybody what to invest. I don't know everybody's situation. Some people got it better than others, vice versa. But what I can say is that doesn't mean that you can't learn. Like they have enough platforms that have enough data to where you can practice until you get comfortable, until you understand what you're doing, and then you can start small with a small amount of money and grow it as you get more sophisticated.
Okay, yeah, bet.
Nah, yeah,
Is there like some websites or whatever you recommend that I download that I can play? I've heard of being able to kind of practice day training with fake money and stuff like that. I just
exactly,
never really got into it. So definitely if you can recommend something to start, that way I can just
absolutely.
dive in because that's I mean, extra $300, $400, that you know what I mean? I don't care what anybody say. That's you know what I mean? Shooting
Right,
away
I agree.
shoes and my little man wearing the same size shoe as me at this time and age, man, that extra four,
Right.
500 gonna come in clutch.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. So listen, you could learn the art of trading on like just go to heavyreturns.com/charts and that'll take you to trading view. That's where you can do it. But if you want to actually practice like executing trades, then you could go to Thinkorswim. That's with Charles Schwab. Somebody asked me about Charles Schwab. I love Charles Schwab because that's where I day trade. And you can do what's called on demand. Write this down. Charles Schwab, Thinkorswim is called on demand, and you can set whatever the money amount is, and you can practice trading that way. Okay, so if you say, all right, when I think that I'm gonna start, I think I'm gonna start with 1,000. You can set it to 1,000 and then trade based off of you having just 1,000 in your account. But here's my thing: is I don't want y'all to depend on that too long. You gotta get some skin in the game eventually, okay? Because you gotta understand how it feels to actually make the money. Are you going to get greedy? Then you have to know how it feels to lose the money. Are
Yep,
you going to be
yep.
consistent? So start. Like, I do want you to start there, but I would say, man, max 3 to 6 months, and then after that, jump. You got to jump off the porch.
Okay, bet, bet.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. So, but yeah, start with charts. Heavyreturns.com/charts will be good. And then when we do chart time, then we got you. I think yes. Okay, so Ramon, yeah, I think it goes up to 500,000, but you can put in whatever it is. You can put in whatever it is that you if you want to move it down. Another thing is on TradingView, you can actually backtest your strategy. So you can do, I think, I forget what the name is, and I'll get it to y'all. But you can block off the prices as if it never happened and then trade that way. And then you can follow along how it actually happened, and it'll tell you whether or not you would have been successful. And you can do that anytime. It's not doing like with Thinkorswim. Most of their back data, like on demand stuff, be like 15 minutes after what's really going on, or you have to wait till market close and then you could trade. But if you do it with TradingView, you can back test anytime. So that's why I suggest TradingView. It's just really a good it's a really good platform. He like me, I need to make $50 a day. Hey Angel, I ain't mad at it. $50 a day go a long way, especially with this gas. BMAC, I'm down. We can do live trading together, man. If I do this pre-market starting this 7:30 in the morning, I don't know if that works for y'all, but that's what I kind of want to do. Just do 7:30, quick 30 minutes. Everybody go do what they got to do. Uh, let's see. Y'all get those books. I got about 7 minutes left on here. Are there any final questions that anybody may have?
Yeah, I got two questions.
Yeah, come on, let's
All right,
talk.
one's technical about charts. What's your favorite indicators to use?
All right. So me, I don't believe volume.
Okay.
Volume. So that's number one. All right. I don't believe in RSI. I don't believe in what else? What else they use? The Fibonacci
EMA,
somewhat.
Fibonacci. Yeah.
Man, Fibonacci cool. Ichimoku cloud and the Bollinger Bands and all that stuff, man. At the end of the day, if you know price action, like support resistance, break the
Yeah.
market structure, retest, confirmation, go. If you know that, and then if you know volume, which is conviction behind all those moves I just said, that's really
Mhm.
all you need. The only
Okay.
other thing that I would say is very important is if y'all gonna be day trading SPX with me, I do always do a side by side, and I put the SPY. So the SPX is just an index, so it doesn't give me the actual volume. What gives me the volume is SPY. That's an ETF. That gives me the actual
Mm.
orders. So I have to put that up. So I buy the SPX, but they move in tandem. They move the same way. But I trade off of the SPY, and I use this indicator called the VWAP. That's the volume weighted average price. That acts as like a support and resistance for SPY, which is the same as SPX. The only difference in between SPY and SPX is that the SPX is a little bit more leveraged. So you'll either lose more money or you'll make more money. But it's the same exact movements. So when y'all do trade with me and Don, then I'll show y'all how I do it side by side.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing, it's a personal question, but what's your I guess they say you gotta differentiate all your stocks and all everything that you're invested in. Like, what would you say is like your percentage in like 401k, IRA versus long-term stocks and day trades? Like, what's your split
Right.
on
Okay.
this?
So that's a great question, right? So I use the backdoor mega Roth to the mega backdoor for the Roth to invest into the Roth because at a certain income level they don't let you do it.
Yeah.
You have to do a workaround. You have to put it in the traditional and you have to roll it. That's about 7,000 a year. Then after that, I have a self-employed 401k, but it's self-directed, so it's not with a mutual fund. And
Mhm.
that particular one, I split it into three different things. I put it in the three things that I told you: VOO, BTC, and then QQQ. Past that particular point, I think that we could do an employees contribution 401k. That's like another 40 some thousand. That's the same thing, those particular stocks. And then past that point, it's a cash, it's called a cash. I gotta find it for y'all, but it's like a cash benefit plan. It's called a DB plan. And what that does is it's kind of like, and a lot of people don't know about it, but it allows for you to write off even more things and grow your money tax free while it's in that particular vehicle. And
Okay.
then that particular one, again, that one is in those three. And then after I max those three, and you were able to put up to like $100,000 in that one per year. But after I max those three things out, then after that point in my own like regular like everyday brokerage, then I have a little bit of QQQ, a little bit of BTC, a little bit of VOO. But then after that, that's when I have Nvidia, AMD, Rocket Labs, Google, and these are all evenly split. What Fidelity allows you to do is create what's called a basket, and you could put every stock that you want in there, and then you just deposit it, and it splits it equally. So it's
Got
all
it.
of those, and I'll send you all of the ones that I'm in, and then
Okay.
yeah, every now and again I'll like what I'm saying, just depends, but that's essentially like my allocation to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
yeah. Who else
Hey,
got
cuz,
some?
real quick, Trey, before it ends, can you just kind of repeat the whole process as far as downloading the app, going to the Discord, et cetera, um, especially for maybe those that just coming on and you know.
Yeah, for sure. So if y'all will go to where's this page at, y'all? This is probably gonna be the most important page because this is how you're gonna get the information. All right, so if you go to heavyreturns.com/discord, if you go into the main chat, that's where we will talk and communicate, and I'm gonna bug y'all, and I'm gonna put information in there, and I'm gonna tell y'all about announcements, and I'm gonna put everything out. That's the most important channel that's gonna be in the chat. That's where all of us can communicate with each other. Okay, so that's heavyreturns.com/discord. It's going to take you to a link. You click the link. That's going to make you download the app. When you download the app, you go and click the link one more time, and then that's going to put you in this group. Once you're in the group, you're good. We can guide you and tag you and everything else. But if you look at long term on the side, day trade and leaps, those will be channels for the people that have took those particular courses. I don't want to have the entire group in the day trading course and they're beginners and they don't know what we're talking about. Okay, I just want people that took the class that understand our lingo to be in that particular channel. For Flowbot dudes, if you want to research a stock, all you got to do is type the ticker symbol in it, and it will produce 3 to 4 articles that'll put you on game. Resources, that'll be where we drop the PDFs. That'll be where we drop, recordings and things like that. And then AskFlow is where you'll get your terms from CNBC when you're watching it, because y'all told me that y'all gonna watch it. I'm making up that y'all told me, but I'm saying y'all gonna watch CNBC 1 hour a day. You're gonna write down the terms that you don't understand. Then you're gonna take those to AskFlow and you're gonna ask it a question about the terms that you don't understand, and the bot is gonna explain it to it in 2 sentences or less.
Appreciate that.
For sure.
Another quick question, and just for my knowledge, ticker symbol is basically like the acronym of different. Yeah, it's like you got Vanguard. I think you no, that's the VOO. That's
That
not.
is Vanguard. Yep, that's the
Okay.
Vanguard S&P 500. You said
The
it right.
NASDAQ is QQQ. So it's basically the acronym. That's the ticker symbol, right?
Exactly.
For
Exactly.
stock.
Yeah. Think of it like a nickname. It's like a nickname for whatever stock. Okay.
Got you.
Yeah. It's like
Got
it's just like a nickname. And most of them, not all of them, but most of them, like they're very close to what the name is. But Apple is like different. Like you put APPL, it's not gonna be that. It's like AAPL. But like most of them are close. Google is pretty much Google without the E. Meta
Okay.
is Meta. Like you know what I'm saying. Like you'll know these things, but there are some stuff. Adding your wife to the group. She's looking forward to day trading. Okay, bet that. Thank you, Chuck. Bring her along, man. We here to pass out information to everybody. Mutz actually has his wife in here as well. My cousin. So, but yeah. So the ticker symbol is just an abbreviation or a nickname for whatever the companies are. 50. You said that what class we were supposed to take for day trading. So it will be called day trading, but that will be the last class because that one is the most advanced one. The way that I'm going to teach them is going to be in order from long term passive, because all I have to do is just teach you valuation and how to value a company. Okay, because we're going to hold those. We don't buy companies for the long term that we intend on selling for at least 5 to 10 years. So that will be the easiest one. Swing, I'll give y'all my method because I've already given it to y'all, but I'll show you more in depth on how I actually like. It'll be a little bit more to it, but you'll understand. And then day trading, that will be the most advanced. But either way, I'm not going to film those until the studio's ready. But during chart time, I will put y'all on game. Okay. All right. Anything else before we jump off? For sure,
I
man. I
just want to
appreciate
say,
you.
just a couple of remarks, man. Thanks for putting this together. It's Trey is like he he just like downloads information. So he reads a lot. He goes out and gets a lot of resources. So that's something I admire about him. So I really appreciate you putting this together, and I'm excited for what for the community to grow. So uh, thanks.
Thanks, LB. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate the comments, brother. Appreciate that, man. He said it. I'm here to help y'all. Helping y'all actually teaches me more. And I just like helping people because at the end of the day, if we all on an island somewhere from all the money we'd have made, man, we're gonna have a good time. So, but yeah, so I'll close out on that. If y'all need me, y'all can tag me in the Discord. You can tag me on IG, whatever. Just holler at me. I'll figure out another time to do another one of these. This one will be recorded. I will put it in. I'll probably make a channel where it says recordings or webinars or something. Y'all will have access to this, so y'all can rewatch it. And then I'll go ahead and put the PowerPoint is up there as well. So if y'all need anything else, y'all know where to find me. I appreciate y'all coming to support, and let's put some work into it. Okay. Check the resource. Okay, thanks. Appreciate that, BMac. So BMac has put that PDF in there for y'all. Y'all check it out. Appreciate that, brother. And then Smut. Amen, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm praying for you. We'll talk. We'll talk off the record, man. But praying for you, bro. Um. Okay. Bet. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. But I'm here. If y'all need me, God bless y'all. And let's get to it. Y'all jump in that chat, please. Like that's all I'm asking. Just jump in the chat and let's get it. Let's get it. Let's talk. Let's discuss. Let's work on it. Y'all have a good one. Okay. Alrighty.